Hello, hi, welcome, welcome to my channel. I want to share with you my top number one self-care activity: meditation. I've wanted to make this video for so long. I'm so excited actually to make it because like that's how excited I am to talk about meditation, how much I love it, and how much it's just like meditation saved my life, saved my mind, literally. Oh, it's like the best thing ever. That's my number one self-care activity. Anyone out there, if you don't know what to do, you're feeling depressed, you're feeling sad, you don't even know where to begin from, you don't know where to start, just go and start meditating. All your problems will be solved. Meditation will solve all the issues that you have, pretty much. Meditation will solve everything that you need, that needs to be solved. It will connect you to a higher self. From there you start listening to your intuition. From there you start connecting to your guides, your angels. You connect to your inner being, and that inner being will direct you to everything you need to do, everywhere you need to go, the things you need to do, where you need to, how you need to do it. Yo, if you haven't been meditating, or you don't know how to meditate, or you don't know what that is, stop meditating. Start meditating. You will not regret it. You'll be glad that you did. Okay, I'm gonna give you my own like backstory of like when I started meditating, right? So I started meditating, and when I started meditation, it was a bit confusing at first because I didn't know exactly what. I think I'd heard it, but I just didn't know how to do it until I actually started to do it, and then I figured out how to do it. So meditation is just, for me, how I started was I would just lay down and listen to guided meditation and follow them and follow, just follow the guided meditation and that. But it evolved from that. It evolved to, there are two types of meditation. I'll say this because I wish somebody had told me this. I wish I knew this information when I started meditating. There are two types of meditation. There's passive meditation, there's active meditation. So the first one is passive meditation. That's the first one. If you're starting meditation for the first time, that's the first thing you should be doing. You should be doing passive meditation. You should just stay there and just let your mind, let your thoughts flow. Let your brain hemisync together. Don't engage in thoughts. Don't try to think. Don't even if you're going to get crazy thoughts. All the shit that's in your head, everything's going to come up, and they're going to be there. But the goal is to remain still, to just remain and be, and not engage in the thoughts, in the conversation that's going on in your head. I wish I knew that, because when I started, sheesh, I would go into meditation and come out stressed. Come out worse than I even were before I went in. So because I was actively meditating instead of passively meditating. Active meditation is where you now get to visualize, and you get to use your imagination, lots of visualizations, and lots of you directing your own meditation now by yourself, and going through your body, going through all of that. So that's just like, I think it's important to know. So if you're starting it for the first time, try your best, just let the thoughts flow. Just imagine that your thoughts are like just they're just doing their own thing, and you're doing your own thing, and just let them flow. Don't engage. By the time those thoughts are cleared and they're done, there will be this stillness inside of you that you start to notice, that will be so calm and peaceful after all the thoughts have like gone away. Now it's just like nothingness. It's just everything. You start to see everything. You start to see colors. You start to see, like, I started to see like kaleidoscope type of colors, just beautiful, amazing colors. And then when I would come out of my meditation, when I started doing it correctly, when I would come out of my meditation, I would just feel this calm, still vibe. Like, I was just like, when I started meditating, And I realized, I was like, where have you been all this while? So this noise in my head, this mind is just talking shit. I just been talking shit all this while, and that's not my true self. That's not my inner being. So from that point onward, when I started meditating, I started realizing that the thoughts that come into my head are not really mine, and they're just the mind. And the mind does what it does. It just picks things up from your surroundings, like a computer that just goes. And when you get them to hemisync and they work together, so meditation can help you do that. They'll help you clear out the rubbish thoughts. I say rubbish, they're just relevant pretty much. And then they'll help you hear your own intuition, your own voice. Okay, so so that's one part of it, right? Then after you've kind of gotten used to meditating, you're like, oh, this is cool, it helps me calm down, it helps me clear my mind, yada yada yada. Good. Next step is now strengthening the connection you have with your inner being. Now figuring out which voice is actually my inner being and which voice is actually my inner being and which voice is actually just the random voice in my head. That part gets very tricky because sometimes that voice will disguise itself as your higher self, because when you start meditating, it's like it knows. It's like it's trying to hold on and trying to hold on to you. So it will do whatever it needs to do to try to hold on, so that you remain there and keep listening to the voice of your ego instead of to the voice of spirit, which is that voice inside of your intuition. So it's important to remove the things that block your intuition. Remove the things that make you not listen to your intuition, especially like food. If you're dieting and you're following plenty diets, just go with intuitive eating. Intuitive eating is like, okay, that was for me, that was how I started. I said, okay, you know what, there's a voice inside of me that is like all loving and peaceful and calm, and there's this other voice that is just like shitty, in the sense that it's just negative. It's always complaining, blah 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 blah. And then there's my inner being, who's just, I guess, the inner being, higher self, whatever you want to call it. But you know, there's spirits, who is just, or you can call it spirit, it doesn't really matter, man, it's all the same. There's spirit who is just calm, peaceful, just chill, you know. For me, it was now realizing that I need to strengthen this voice, the connection I have with this voice. I want it to be, to my inner being, I want it to be stronger. So I started to say, okay, what am I going to do to eliminate everything that makes me not listen to my intuition? Because in the past, I had not listened to I remember situations where I had not listened to my intuition, and I was like, that voice is my intuition. Your intuition is so chill, it's so calm, it doesn't shout. Your intuition is so mellow. You just say the thing, what it wants to tell you. It's not going to force you. It's not going to be shouting it in your head. It's not going to want you to hurry up and get it done quickly. No. It doesn't do that. So your intuition is just like the calm voice inside of you that talks to you very, and you have to be calm and you have to be in a peaceful state to be able to hear it. That's why meditation is very helpful, because once you start doing that and you clear your mind, you clear your thought, and you're free, and then you get into the flow. And you get into flow state, you start to hear your intuition clearly. So for me, it was removing the things that would make me not listen to my intuition. One of them was eating and diet. So previously I was on like diets, like I would do like fasting or like keto, yada yada yada. But when I realized that was actually me going against what my intuition wanted me to do, and just going with the grain, or like what was expected or what was working for people apparently, but it wasn't necessarily working for me. So what I started to do was intuitive eating. I would just eat whatever I felt like eating. That was how it started. I know that sounds scary for some people, because you're like, intuitive eating, just want me to eat like eat whatever I want. Yes, it's like if you've not had like a very stable relationship with food, and today you are eating, tomorrow you are dieting, today you are eating, tomorrow you are dieting, today you want to lose weight, tomorrow you gain it, it's going to be very tricky for you at first, because you're just like, you're not used to that freedom to just eat whatever you want to eat and just let it be, right? But the truth is, once it's like once you allow yourself to eat, eventually you get tired of all the food, because it's like, okay, intuitive eating, let me eat now. You start to eat whatever. If you wake up in the morning, you feel like eating donuts, you eat the donuts. What happens? Nothing happens. If you've done that, that struggle and tussle and bustle inside of you goes away. So now you're like, okay, I've eaten these donuts. If let's say you've done that for like 1 month straight and you've just been eating whatever you want to eat, right? The second month, you're going to be fed up. You're going to be like, ugh, I can't do this anymore. You're going to want something else. Slowly, you're going to start understanding why you even eat the things you eat. You're going to start understanding that, oh, if you're craving donuts, it's probably because you're feeling certain emotion and you need something to comfort you. And you're using the food as a way to comfort yourself. You're going to start realizing that slowly. It's not going to happen all at once. It's not going to be like, oh, I started intuitive eating, now I lost all this weight. Intuitive eating will make you will lose weight, and it will stay. It will be long-lasting weight. It will not be weight that you will lose and it will come back. No. It's gonna take you about a year to actually figure it out completely and actually shed what you need to shed, or understand how your emotions and food work. There are some good books out there for intuitive eating, so I suggest if you're interested, you should check them out. There's a really good one. I don't know it's just called Intuitive Eating. It's green. I read that one. That was a good one. It helped me understand how I was using food to cope. And so what I would do when I realized that is, when I had a craving, I would realize that, oh, I'm having this craving because I'm having an emotion, right? So I will still get the food. Let's say I'm craving donuts. I will still get the donuts. As I'm eating the donuts, I will just start to feel the emotions. So I started using the food as a way to kind of reward myself. Okay, to tap into the emotion, instead of just saying, okay, I'm feeling this emotion, I'm not going to eat, I'm just going to try to figure out the emotion. I did both. I'm like, I'm going to eat, I'm still going to figure out the emotion as well. So I'll be eating, I'll be writing down. As I'm eating, I'm enjoying myself. All the emotions are coming up, and at this time I can handle it now, because I'm eating the food, I'm also dealing with the emotion. So I'm using both things at the same time to tackle the problem, instead of just being like, okay, no, let me just. So slowly, as I started doing that, my craving started to change. I stopped craving so many things. I started craving like fresh food. I started craving more greens, more fruits, more veggies. That's what I started doing. I just started incorporating those things slowly into my food, and before you know it, my diet changed before my eyes. I didn't even have to do anything. I didn't have to force it. It just happened naturally, freely. It just flowed. That's what I love about intuitive eating, because you just get into the flow of actually listening to your body and giving your body what it wants, and allowing your body to just do what it does. If you wake up in the morning, if you're struggling with your weight, right, and you wake up in the morning and you want to and you feel like you want to eat donuts, go ahead. That was what I used to. I fucking love donuts even till today. But I just don't crave it, as much as I used to. I don't remember when last I had a donut, but before, when I started intuitive eating, I would wake up in the morning and the first thing in my head is I want to eat donuts today. I would buy a whole pack of donuts, and that would be what I would eat for breakfast. and the funny part, I wasn't even gaining when I started intuitive eating, and I was eating whatever I wanted. I wasn't gaining weight because I was eating what I truly wanted to eat. I think that people people don't understand how important emotions are, especially when they are tied to your food, when they're tied to how you feel when you're eating something and you're actually feeling good about what you're eating, compared to when you're eating something and there's guilt inside of you, like, why am I eating this thing, or this thing's going to make me fat, this thing's not good for me, da 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 da. Those two things, they're two different emotions. One of them is just like, oh, I'm grateful, I'm eating this donut, I'm happy. The other one is just like beating yourself up. You're eating the food, but you're also beating yourself up for eating the food. It's not gonna go the same way inside. It's not gonna feel the same way inside your body when you're done eating it. So even when I was doing all of those, I was eating whatever I wanted. I'll wake up whatever and be like, I want pizza, I want like whatever. I would eat it. I was not gaining weight because I was eating it, and because I felt good. I started to trust my intuition again. I started to trust listen to my body, trust my body, listen to what my body was telling me. If my body is craving something, I would give it to it, and then after I give it to it, I would get the message. Okay, this is why I was craving this is why this was happening, this is why. And slowly those cravings will start to change, because you're not building a relationship with your body, you're not building a relationship with yourself. You're now communicating, listening to your body, listening to what it wants, giving it what it wants. At first it may be scary, because you're just like, how am I going to eat all these plenty things, but when you're actually eating from a place of love, and you're not eating from a place of fear, or like fear of you stepping out of your diet, fear of you eating the wrong food, fear of you eating, when you're not eating from that fear state, I'm telling you, when you eat the food, when you get inside your body, it will turn into vegetable. You'll be surprised. You will not gain any weight at all. You'll be so like freaking like free of any guilt. So intuitive eating gives you freedom to just like stop guilt tripping yourself for the shit you want to eat or the shit you feel like eating. If you feel like eating this thing, just eat it with your full chest. Then keep doing that. Keep listening to your body. Keep eating what you want to eat. If you feel like, I'm telling you, after like a couple months, you realize your cravings will start to change. You start to realize, okay, why am I eating? You wake up in the morning like, why do I want donuts in the morning? You start to realize the patterns that are making you eat the things that you eat. It's not just because you're not just eating because you just want to eat. No, there are patterns, and these patterns are patterns that we learned from when we were little. Like when we would cry when we were little, as little kids, they would give us food to like, take, that would make us feel better, like, yay. And as adults, we still do that sometimes. You'll be feeling some type of way, you have an emotion, you just grab food, go and sit in front of the TV, watch a movie. Before you know, the food the whole pack of food is done, right? And it's okay. Just at first, give yourself that freedom. Allow yourself to eat what you want to eat. Allow yourself to eat. It will help you listen to your intuition and listen to your body. Once you start trusting your intuition, trusting your body, if your intuition is like, go and get the food and eat it, and you're not like, but my diet says it's not time for me to eat yet. This one says it's not time for me to eat yet. Yada, yada, yada. That's just going to keep blocking your intuition. You're not going to hear it. So that's just one, right? This story may be all over the place, but just take it as you take it, okay? So that's just one way to strengthen the connection with your intuition, to make sure that you're hearing what your intuition is telling you. You're not doing what somebody else expects you to do, or you're not doing what the TV said you should do, or you're not doing what the diet says you should do, or those kind of things. Those things just block your intuition. You will not hear what your intuition is saying. You'll be doing diets, you'll be wondering why you're not losing weight, why you gain it now, lose it, back and forth, because it's all over the place. The best way is just a slow and steady wins the motherfucking race, man. Literally, they didn't say that thing for just the sake of saying it. Slow and steady wins the race. So intuitive eating is my number one advice. Secondly, to eliminate the things, like for me, another thing was my hair. So I used to wear wigs, right? I'm not saying if you're wearing wig, don't wear wig. Oh, that's your own. Wear what you want to wear. Listen to your own intuition. My intuition and your intuition is not the same thing. Don't do what I'm doing just because I'm saying it. Make sure it makes sense to you before you do it. So I used to wear wigs, but I didn't really enjoy the process of it all. Like, it was so stressful. What I really wanted to do was just to leave my hair and just be. and I always wanted to do locks, but I said, I was going to do locks later in the future. But then I was like, you know what, this is the time. I did the locks. I had just regular hair. I used to just put it in a bun because I was sick of wigs. When I wanted to go out, it would just be like plenty things. You have to do wig, you have to get dressed, you have to do this one. I was like, no, that is gone. So I locked my hair, and I said, I'm gonna lock my hair and see how it goes. If I really like it, then I'm gonna continue with the locks. So I locked my hair, and I was like, okay, I fuck with it. And then so I cut that off, and then I started my locks again. So that was one way to, so pretty much this is just examples of what I did to start listening to my intuition. Just listen to what you want to do. Like, my intuition was just like, okay, I stopped making nails because I realized that this one was easier for me to just color my nails, and it still look fucking good. And even if everybody around me and is doing something else, it doesn't matter. And one thing is, when you start to listen to your intuition, you look as if you don't know what you're doing. You look at everybody around you is going to be like, what's wrong with this one? What are you doing? What's going on with you? Like, why are you, because you'll be going against the grain. Because usually, especially if you used to not listening to your intuition and looking for validation from other people, or other people are always telling you what to do, your parents, before you make one decision, you go and ask your parents, ask your friends, they will now give you advice. When you start to listen to your intuition is going to be like here, everybody else is going to be like this. So now you got to decide, which one do you want to listen to? Your intuition, or you want to listen to all the advice you have been listening to since? So it's just about you trusting yourself and just following the process, following what your intuition is telling you. Let it tell you what it wants to tell you. Even if it doesn't make sense to anybody around you, it doesn't make sense to the people around you, they don't understand what you're doing, do you, boo? It will make sense later at the end. So I just want to say, this video is getting longer. It's supposed to be like a quick one, but I just want to say, start meditating. And the voice that you're hearing inside, listen to that voice. Let that voice guide you. That voice knows what it's telling you. That's the seat of your intuition. That little voice is where you can connect with your guide. Okay, when your connection with your intuition has gotten to a certain point, is strong, then you start to connect to higher beings. You start to connect to your spirit guides. You start to connect to your angels. because they are all around you. They are here, ascended masters, everybody. They're all chilling, just waiting for people to raise their vibration up to that level so that they can hear them clearly. So when you remove all the clutter, remove all the noise, you start to meditate, you start to listen to your higher being, you start to connect deeply, because at that point, you need to get to a certain point before you are able to connect to your guides. Because if not, the messages can go left, right, and that can mess you up, and they're not going to come until you are ready. So you have to do the work. If you want to connect to your guides, you want to connect to your higher being, you have to raise your own vibration up to get to that level. So start meditating. Literally start meditating and start listening to your intuition. Fuck everything else. Go against the grain. Literally everybody's going this way, and your intuition, something inside of you, your knowingness is telling you to go this way. And your intuition is very subtle. It doesn't shout. It's very subtle. It's like it's just like when the pin drops. You have to be calm. Your mind has to be stable. Your mind has to be peaceful for you to be able to hear it clearly. So that's why meditation is very important. Like the way I'm like voicing the important, like I cannot stress like meditation enough. Like everybody should be fucking meditating. There are different ways to meditate. You can go for a walk. It's just about first of all, it's just about freeing your mind, just letting go first. If you don't, you can journal as well as a form of meditation. Just free writing. Just put your hand in the pen and start writing. And if you wake up in the morning, another good way, just write, and all the thoughts that you've had that is going on in your head, write everything down. And then after you write that down, then just lay down and just allow your higher self to come through and connect with you and start to raise your vibration. Start to do things that make you happy. And that was one of the big things too, because when you're down and when you're low, you can't connect with your higher self. You can't connect with anything. You're just like worry. If you're stressing, you're worried, you're doing this, you're doing that, you can't connect with anything. You cannot connect with, if you hear the messages, they won't be clear. They will be so distorted that it will even make you wonder like what the fuck is going on. So journaling is important too. So journal what you want to journal, write everything down. If you have something in your head, don't keep it in your mind. That's one thing I want to say. Don't keep anything in your mind. Don't keep it just circling around, moving from this brain to this brain, moving from no, don't keep it. Write it down. If you write it down, it's gone. Now go on, you go lay down, put some frequency music, guided meditation, beach waves, water waves, whatever you want to meditate to that. Just pretend like you are here but you're not here, and whatever wants to happen will happen. You start to see that when you start to you start to detach from the noise in your head, and you realize that it's only when you are so close to the issue, that's when it becomes a big deal. And meditation helps you detach, helps you pull back from this fake reality that is driving everybody. No, I won't say driving everybody crazy, but that's what it wants to do. It will just pull you away from the noise and the chaos of your mind, and it will put you into your body. And yoga is also very good. Yoga will help you connect to your body, so you can start to feel your yoga, dancing, some Zumba, get into the groove. If you can meditate those ways, like that too. Like I meditate walking, dancing. I can be eating and be meditating. I can pretty much be meditating anywhere. After a while, you kind of get the hang of it. But at first, you don't even have to sit cross-legged to meditate. You can dance and just set an intention not to think anything. Even if your brain is thinking, you can still be at peace. Okay, I hope this video helps somebody, and I hope it makes sense the way I said it, and I'm sure I know it makes sense. And people, you just take what you need to take from inside. If you have more questions, just leave them in the comments section, and I will do my best to answer them. It's just because I don't have any questions, so I'm just going off it and just letting spirit flow through me and say it how it's supposed to be. But truly, meditation saved my life, because my brain was braining. My mind was minding. It was doing its own thing. When I started meditating, and I realized that I was just like, all these things that are stressing me, I was stressing for, they are nothing. They're just, I just detached. Meditation just pulled me away from reality. And after my meditation, when I would come out of meditation, I would just look at the whole world, and I was just like, this thing are beings. There's nothing here. Like, what was I stressing about? And then when you start to meditate, let me say this thing, you start to get synchronicities. That's when you know that you are getting in alignment with your higher being. You start to see synchronicities everywhere. Like, you can even ask for a sign. You can ask your higher being, like, okay, if you're not sure if this is what I'm supposed to do, give me a sign. Ask for things specifically. Like me, I would ask for, like, I like animal signs. I would ask for, like, this specific animal, specific time. Show me this animal at this time. Show me these birds, this number of birds. I would just look outside my window, and boom, what I asked for is already showing. There's already outside. So please listen to your intuition. Trust your intuition.